everyone, my name is Cetus and welcome back to Imperator Rome as Egypt. In our last episode, we took a bunch of what were Pythia's vassals over here. They had broken away as Pythia is in the middle of imploding. Though it kind of looks like they're starting to put themselves back together, maybe, possibly. The amount of siege territory in the land would not necessarily indicate that, but regardless. They started to implode. We took advantage of that because we are trying to complete the mission tree for Egypt, which required me to take all of this land over here, of which we've done a really good start. Now we need to convert it to our religion, which we kind of need to focus in on. The next territory we need is actually down here, but that's Sorry, I was just noticed this one has two territories. Oh, they're uninhabitable. I was going to say, I don't think I can colonize there, but it's interesting that it highlights it. What I was going to say is, this is what we're supposed to take next. But I kind of want to get this little country out of the middle of my empire because it just annoys me that they're in the middle of my empire. No one will protect them. No one will help them. So they will be very, very easy to take. We currently have 23 aggressive expansion, which isn't terrible. Over 50 is when it becomes really bad. There, as you can see here, there's some penalties to culture, wrong culture happiness, and claim fabrication speed and loyalty of subjects with the 20 we're at now. But it doesn't get awful and kind of crippling until 50. You can manage it where it is right now. So we're just going to dive right into this war. No one will protect them. We can't call in any of our allies. Frankly, we don't need any of our allies, so that's not really a big deal. So we're just going to declare war. We got another trade route that I would just accept. We have an available decision. It's just to change monarchy type, which we don't care about. We have an unmarried ruler. I'm not going to worry about it because our ruler is 77 and he's not going to be around very long. Good or for bad. I think actually, let me check quickly. Did I convert? Yes, so I force converted my primary heir into following the Kemetic religion, which is the religion of Egypt, which we embraced despite the fact that it's caused a lot of loyalty issues throughout our empire because all our leaders are Macedonian and Hellenic, I think is the religion. I can't remember. Hellenic, yes, is their religion. Oh, we cannot. Oh, she's devout, so we can't. We can never convert our kid's wife, but that's okay. Oh, we already declared war, so. One army come take that fort, one army come take that fort, and if we stumble upon an army, which I can't imagine they have much of one, they are currently at war with Pythia because all the little states are at war with Pythia trying to get independence. So their army is probably up fighting in Pythia's territory. So it wouldn't surprise me if we complete this mini little war completely without ever running into their army. Because it's having its own adventure. So let's increase to speed 5. I could probably be looking at some stuff in my empire, but frankly we're building money and that's fine. Disagreement on the highest level. A man of sound reputation and Theseus, a noble woman of great virtue, have recently started to spar furiously while attending the court. Such behavior is unbecoming. We can side with one or the other for a loyalty boost to them, or we can tell them both to stop bickering for a loyalty loss of both of them and gain popularity. The one guy would go down into the dangers. Under 40, I think, is when they become potentially rebellious. So it is tempting to do this, and then they both are loyal. What do you do, though? Oh, she's a minor character who doesn't do anything. So yes, let's do that. Then we have no disloyal characters out of that conflict. Generally, I like to tell the people to stop bickering, because, come on, stop bickering. But, how it works this time. We have 62 military experience. We haven't really talked about that yet. It's something that goes up as you fight or slowly with time. We can spend it to buy mercenaries if we need to with gold, or we can spend it to gain improvements to our military, which is primarily what we want to do. What? We took it and it became a different country? I don't understand. A different country that's at war with me? I don't know what's going on. Are they like rebelling out from under me? What's happening? I can't seem to take the territory. They can sure siege down my territory though. What is going on? Re-siege that. Okay, now I'm re-sieging this fort, but I'm not sieging the capital. That feels like an odd glitch due to odd timing. Oh, that's a app that has a fort as well. Well, that's ridiculous, guys. Scorn family. Okay. A researcher died, and now one family doesn't have enough family members. So hopefully, excuse me, hopefully someone from that family is good at this. Not really. So the Scone family is the Legid people, the green. We need one more. 9 is actually really good. My problem with picking this lady is she's 46 and doesn't have super high stewardship skill. So she would never be able to utilize her high skill in the time. This lady, who's only 16 and better, would be way better by the time she dies, because she has all the time in the world to gain the stewardship skill from practicing this. So I really don't know that I want to give it to the family that's currently scorned, except for I do, because they get a loyalty penalty if they're not in it. So what I might do, this guy is only 18. He's not as good. He's only an 8, but he starts with a little better steward skill. So I think this is the choice. He'll never be as good, and research is important. But at the moment, we have enough loyalty issues. I think we just do that. Speaking of this, let's look at research, because we have the money for another one. Let's take the bonus to wrong culture happiness, because we have a chunk, we have a chunk of culture that isn't ours now. And we have a penalty to it because of our aggressive expansion. So let's just take a little boost. Look, you guys are all surrendering to me, and that's just how it is. Despite your little strange revolt in the middle. Should probably spend some money building up our military. We have a ton of manpower. We don't field that many troops, which I feel like, I mean, we've been doing fine. We've taken down Pythia a bunch, and we have no scary neighbors. The scariest neighbor next to us is the Seleucid Empire, who is our pal. Okay, so we siege that back. Let the looting be gentle, because this will be our city. It's changing color again? I really don't know what's going on. Can we take everything from you. We will just put everyone to the sword for the aggressive expansion reduction, and then you will give me that. And we'll put everyone to the sword for the aggressive expansion. I mean, I guess the revolt worked in my favor, because it split them in half in such a way that I got to lower aggressive expansion twice, because if it was just one country, I would only have been able to do it once. Okay, so that was productive as we kind of hoped and dreamed. Guess I could use a stronger uh, fleet as well. Land mismanaged, etc., etc. We can strip him of his land for the crime of mismanaging it, and provide them with the help they need. So we gain popularity, he loses loyalty, we lose money, and they don't gain as much food, which is not ideal, but I don't think we'll ever be able to stop the food loss. Put him in irons. His assets will cover the costs. We gain popularity. He loses more loyalty. He loses a bunch of money, so he pays for it. We gain tyranny, which we kind of want our tyranny to drop. I mean, 8 isn't terrible, which is what we have up here, but we kind of want it to drop because I've never had too much trouble managing tyranny, other than in one game when I was playing Rome and I made it into a dictatorship. And it seems to me once you get to like a certain threshold, it's actually really hard to get it back down. But there's a lot of negatives there, so I don't want it. Or the man is a governor, not a farmer after all. Lose popularity. He gains corruption? Oh no, I gain corruption. He gains loyalty. Interesting. And a lot of penalties there. We'll strip him of the job. That's fine. Apparently I have 2 prisoners out there. I don't know what's going on. What would it take to get Joseph back from my vassal? That's a lot of money. I don't know that I care about this guy I don't know about. I don't know how he got taken prisoner by my vassal. New military structure. He knows best. He gains... Oh, okay. I don't think we've talked about this. We are going to choose this, and he becomes a better general. So, let's find his army. Here we go. So, one of the things with troops, and we talked about it a bit, is you want your generals loyal because they, could revolt against you. When you know they're disloyal, though, one of the things you can do is start to take troops away from their army, make them weaker. But to make it so you don't just strip them of all their troops and remove them from command, there's a mechanism in place which makes sense, where troops gain loyalty. So as we see, if we look through this army, every one of his troops is loyal to him now because of that event and what I chose. So if he started to be rebellious and think bad things about me, he would have the ability to, I couldn't take the troops away from him. Now, I'm not so concerned. 10k is not a lot of troops. It's not a big army. Frankly, I should have bigger armies at this point, and I could build one up really quickly if needed. Whoa. The kings that once served Alexander have started to pass away, and with them so does the immediate claim to his empire. The men who have become known as the successors are now themselves being succeeded by their progeny. While powerful leaders in their own right, with a strong claim to the realms of their father, these are religious dynasts and cannot restore an empire now. Restore an empire now was lost. So we lose our alliances with our 2 allies. Oh, and our leader died. Okay, now let's take a little look at what's going on. So we now have a new pharaoh. He has 72% legitimacy, which is pretty good for a transfer. I mean, obviously you want 100. It is dropping right now. He's not very popular. He only has a popularity of 43, which is pretty bad. So his legitimacy is dropping by 0.01 from the looks of it. So we are going to spend 10 political influence to boost it up a little bit. We don't need to spend more because 72 is still good, just enough to keep it going upwards rather than down. We now have a bunch of pretenders to the throne. These are our pharaoh's brothers and sisters who have claims to the throne. They could, in theory, still inherit if I died, my kid died. And they're probably going to be grouchy. because they probably were like, well, we should have inherited the throne. We have one, well, actually, I don't know how many kids. We'll look at that in a second. Our heir is now our 3-year-old child, who is our only child. That's a little concerning that we only have one, but that's something. Oh, he is culture Egyptian, which is amazing. If we can transition our leader to be Egyptian culture instead of Greek, basically, that would be fantastic. Like, just fantastic. I can't convert him, apparently, because I'm guessing because he's a child? Inbred, ooh. Oh yeah, I forgot I can marry my own siblings. That's pretty brutal. Okay, well, let's never do that again. I don't even remember why I did it. I think I just did it because I picked someone who was good and it happened to be my sister. But oof. But also bonuses for being inbred. That's that's just strange. Okay. We'll have to deal with that later. We'll have to try and remember to convert them later. We can choose a new omen. We could continue with the aggressive expansion impact. So when we take places, we get 6% less aggressive expansion. We could take food, we could take civilization change, and we could take morale of armies. We could also switch out the deity for someone else if we wanted. Because you have 4 primary religions, but you can switch them out so we could get more food, more population growth. Population growth is interesting. I actually think, though, we're going to take the civilization change. And I also just realized we haven't really had issues with barbarian buildups in our deserts, which I was kind of expecting. I know I was watching some videos of someone playing Kush and had tons of issues with barbarians, but the only place where they're building up is... Wait, I saw it. Here we go. So is slowly building up down here. So we need to improve the civilization of the areas around it. So for a little bit, we'll run that religion. This army is lacking a commander because if you recall, it was our leader. How good is our current leader? Our current leader is a terrible leader, which is unfortunate. We don't want someone that bad running things. She is only a 7, but our family is currently scorned, which we don't want. So she's uncaring. So not as loyal. More likely her troops will be loyal to her. I think we're going to put her... The loyalty is not terrible. She gets... Oh, so once she's not a scorned family, it will go up a bunch, because that was -10 of the loyalty. So that should clean that up a little bit. Okay, now we just need to settle in a little bit. I'm kind of tempted to just immediately go to war down here. They have no allies. They have a tiny army. I could very easily eat everything over there and call that good. It's kind of sad we don't have an alliance with the Silicate Empire anymore. Because we could get an alliance with Thrace. Thrace I don't know that I want. They don't look like they're doing great. Carthage, you want to be friends? No, they really, really don't want to be friends. Mine is 113 versus 10-2 joining. That's, So we don't have any friends. I don't know that I'm too concerned. Egypt is a pretty massive power, and I don't think we're going to have... I think at this point, our primary threat is going to be imploding like Pythia did. You know, to disloyal people, and then... Wait, is that my... That's my wife, who's insanely disloyal to me. Mine is Pretender of the Throne. Mine is because of supporters. Don't you Don't you do this to me. Uh, okay, well, turns out, unsurprisingly, that inbreeding is a terrible idea. Uh, I'll have to pay attention next time and not do that. So let us, maybe I should disable the law that makes that okay, just so I never accidentally do it. But regardless, I think that's a good place to call this episode. I think we will do some attacking next time and expand out. Because we need that little piece of territory for our missions yet last. And then we're going to need to focus, I think, on converting people to our religion. Because we need this area converted for our missions. So, thank you everyone for watching, and I hope to see you in the next episode.